Mr. Second Monitor here. Hello. uh, I'm here to talk about a link that one of my friends sent me. The title of the article thing is "If you call yourself a Gachikoi, you should be prepared for the responsibility." And I did a little skim of it, and I thought it was super interesting. It basically talks about, you know, fans that develop romantic feelings for certain content creators or streamers, and I thought like a better way to talk about it than just being here, in my space, just stewing in my own head. As some of you may know, I consider myself as a fan of a certain content creator, but just know that through my past videos and past VODs, I have extensively talked about them. I've kind of developed a bit of a journey over the times that I've talked about them, about how showing your passions and being a fan of someone or something is not inherently cringe. It's just a byproduct of the way I was raised. And, as a product of that, I kind of became very adverse to sharing my interests, which is not great. And the content creator in question has helped me out in realizing that like it's okay to be a fan. It's okay to show your interest, show your passion, even if it's not exactly in the norm. Anyway, yeah, the link is talking about Gachikoi and their positives, but also their inherent negatives. The article itself also gives out some points about how uh, Gachikoi are like exceptional listeners, and how them being like, "Oh, I have developed real life feelings for you," is not like inherently a very big problem in and of itself, which I guess is kind of the extension of the my the content creator I'm a fan of's like mindset of like viewers who are considered parasocial in the modern sense are not exactly problematic. And I make the distinction of modern sense because inherently all relationships between a celebrity or a content creator and a normal person are parasocial. Like they're just under that umbrella. I don't consider myself in the realm of Gachikoi. I have like made my sweeping declaration to commit myself to this content creators like community. I told them that like I'm gonna be there to stay whether they like it or not. Which I mean, I'm not really staying true to that promise right now, but let's just say that I'm still around. Yeah, for sure. It's just I'm keeping my head down so that I don't cause any trouble, which I guess I'm not really doing a good job of because I'm out here and I'm still active, even though I have a life outside of all of this. Although I would kind of argue it doesn't feel like it's a life. Continuing to the paragraph, it talks about how Gachikoi are people who have developed romantic feelings for content creators, specifically VTubers. And while I was reading that in the bathroom, I was thinking to myself, did I develop romantic feelings for this person? And I think my answer to that is not really, no. I think I've laid it out pretty openly that I was I've laid out my situation, I think. It was like I was just a fan. I was just a fan. Which is why it's kind of weird talking about an article that is about Gachikoi when I'm out here kind of denying denying that label onto myself. But here I am. And then the second paragraph it talks about like, oh, Gachikoi are a boon to streamers because basically it's like free labor for them. Like Gachikoi's market for you and stuff. Which I think is like my main contributing factor as a fan. It's like, dude, I think even people who have known me before being in the VTubers Discord server, people who've known me from other servers or even like way before, they know that like my only contributing factor to being a fan of someone or something is by like relentlessly shilling. I mean, I don't know if they remember this, but I was the one who made the copy pasta. Like, oh my god, it's my favorite art streamer, Mr. Because I just say it so much. I just say it so like endlessly. But yeah, like the second paragraph is all true. Like, I mean, granted, I don't put the things I like or the people I'm a fan of in every single thing I put in. I don't talk about them all the time in my videos or on my streams. Well, that's not true. Editor, roll the clip of me talking about the VTuber in question for like months on end. This next paragraph actually talks about, you know, it kind of gets a little serious. And it talks about like how when those feelings go sour. And I would have to agree, because why did I alt-tab? I alt-tabbed out of the game out of instinct, man. I'm not used to having more than one monitor. Oh, actually, yeah, like, yeah. The feelings turn negative, and blah 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 blah. So when passion turns into something sour, like they kind of turn into, well, what does the article use? They turn into hanten anti, or reverse anti, which is kind of a double negative. Or is it? I don't really know. I'm not smart enough to know. Oh my god, it's a saboteur. That's so me. He's so me for real. For the people that have stuck around with me these past few months or past few weeks, they know that like I've been kind of just keeping my head down and just like doing my own thing, keeping myself busy, because I guess now there's a word for what I didn't want to become. Oh god, am I gonna have to do this? Let's check the loot first, actually. I'm just gonna like chill for a bit. Hold on. Yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, I was looking at the next paragraph to feelings turning negative, and it was like examining the process of becoming a Gachikoi. It mirrors a lot of my journey towards being a fan of this person, and I'm starting to wonder whether or not I'm using like semantics as a way to not really deflect, but avoid that kind of labeling to them. Because in like this paragraph mirrors a lot of my journey, because I mean I was just watching them at first, right? And then I don't know, it's I wouldn't say it like them acknowledging my existence. Suddenly I'm like, oh yeah, I have romantic feelings for them now. Maybe it is romantic, you know? Because why else would I go this far? Why else would I think about them this extensively? And that paragraph like made me think about whether or not this feeling is indeed romantic, and I don't know. I've never been a guy who thinks of women or anyone really romantically, because the kind of I'm not saying like it poisons the relationship or something, or it makes it more sour or anything like that, but I've seen firsthand what happens to like you know people who come into a relationship or a friendship with those kinds of motives. I wouldn't say I'm on both end of the stick. It's more like, oh god, it's more like I was I've seen what happens when people start moving in a way that like they perceive someone as like a romantic interest, and the way it just like the way they switch up basically. It I wouldn't say I didn't like it. There's like it puts me off, you know? And I didn't want to introduce that kind of thing to like my online relationships, especially not with what happened to me back in like 2018, where I did that same thing to like a cosplayer. You know, they're kind of like breadcrumbing me and stuff, and me, a fool, and like a naive idiot, thinking like, oh my god, oh my god, she showed me affection. I love them. But yeah, I think there's some like sentences here that talk about like stagnation, and I thought to myself that if what I am feeling towards someone is indeed romantic, then maybe it stands to reason that I shouldn't like come anywhere near them, because oh god, the very idea of liking someone that I will never reciprocate, or even like liking someone whose nature of work is something like that, to where it becomes problematic for both parties involved to like get involved in that way. I don't know. It's that 0 to 100, 0 or 100 thinking that, you know, my former Oshi used to give me a lot of shit with. My take on Gachikois is that I don't think I also don't think they're problematic. I just think that like the the feeling of stagnation that this this article is talking about, this feeling of unrequited love being like it's not met with reciprocated feelings for a long time, and people start to like go a little crazy over it. I think that's just the inevitable. I guess now I'm starting to understand the title of the paragraph of like from adding points to subtracting, where people at that stage start to like not really judge, but put them up on a metric where like points get added or subtracted based on what they do or what they say. Which I mean, in my Gen Z brain is just aura. You know, we're talking about aura gains and aura losses. And I guess like dude, the second to last sentence actually, I just want to like talk about it. Once this happens, even if they intend to keep supporting their Oshi, they adopt a critical, almost judgmental perspective focusing on whether the Oshi aligns with their idealized image. Which I was like reading it properly now. I was like, ouch. And then like the article continues to talk about um subliminals, which again, ouch. But I'd like to think that they changed me for the better. There's this paragraph actually. It's the third, I think fourth or fifth paragraph, and the title of it is "Your Oshi isn't yours alone," which is very true. Me personally, I have no problems in that front. Like, obviously, I stuck around there because of the community, and I'm planning to stick around there because of the community. One of the most illuminating things about that paragraph specifically was one of the art people that I was following around started streaming on Twitch again. Some of the people in my Oshi's like community were also in there, but because of my current standing and reputation as like Mr. Shitterton 5000, I had to like kind of talk to one of them and be like, hey, please don't get it confused. I'm not in this artist's like Twitch stream to do anything bad. That's just I've been supporting them since 2019. Yada yada yada. And then there's this one thing that they said. Oh yeah, totally, dude. It's all good. I don't mind. And they were like, yes, I know about what happened. I hope. And the thing that they said was like, I hope you guys hash things out. And I was like, damn. Like, dude, nobody gives a fuck about any of this aside from me and them. And I think that's what really helped me out with like just keeping silent and shutting the fuck up about all of this, because like quite frankly, nobody cares. And I know what they're probably gonna say something like, well, if nobody cares, then why are you still talking about it and stuff like that? And I was like, well, obviously because this shit affects me deeply. I guess there's also like that thing with don't call yourself a Gachikoi if you're not ready for the commitment. And I was like, I'm not a Gachikoi. I'm just not. I don't think I'm built like that. I don't harbor any romantic feelings for my Oshi, because quite frankly, I've given up on love like a while ago already. I'm of the camp that like, so long as they are successful in life and they get to live their best life, then I don't mind.